My wife racked up hotel rewards points, so I cashed them in and got her arrested instead. Hey Reddit, buckle up. I didn't think my life would turn into some weird soap opera, but here we are. I'm a 34-year-old guy, married to my wife Jenna, 32F, for just over 5 years. You know how people always say trust is everything? Yeah, I used to believe that too. We've had what I thought was a decent marriage. Nothing explosive, just the usual rhythm of life. Work, Netflix, occasional sex, family holidays, bickering over what to order for dinner. I work in IT for a mid-sized architecture firm, and Jenna's in pharmaceutical sales. That means she travels a lot. Conferences, regional visits, client dinners. I always figured that's just the gig. I even admired how driven she was. We'd been talking about taking a real vacation for the first time since our honeymoon. You know, beaches, umbrella drinks, no emails. She seemed excited, and one night she mentioned she might have some travel points saved up from work. Could be enough to cover a few nights at a nice hotel, she said, while half watching reruns of Friends. I made a joke about how all her travel was finally paying off, but that joke turned out to be way more accurate than I ever expected. A week later, I sat down to actually look at hotel options. She had sent me her login info for the hotel rewards account. She's always been the one to handle travel stuff, so this was new for me. I log in and see over 240,000 points. Now, I'm not a road warrior or anything, but I know that's a lot. Like, a lot. A lot. That's dozens of nights at mid-range hotels, maybe more, depending on where you go. Something didn't sit right. I tried to think it through logically. She travels maybe twice a month, usually 1 to 2 nights each trip. Even assuming her company books everything through the same hotel chain, that's maybe 40 nights a year. Multiply by 5 years. Still doesn't quite get you there. Especially not when I noticed some of the recent stays were for weekends. In cities she wasn't scheduled to be in. I work in IT, remember? Digital footprints are a second language to me. It didn't take long to cross-reference her travel calendar with these hotel stays. A couple were during times she told me she was visiting her sister. One was while I was at a work retreat. Another, get this, was on our anniversary weekend when she said she had to attend a mandatory product training in Seattle. I had sent her flowers to the hotel she said she was at. Turns out she was in a completely different city. I dug deeper. Some of the bookings included 2 guests. A couple had notes like anniversary package or champagne on arrival. I even found one with a reservation for spa services under both her name and another guy's name. Let's call him Mark. I felt sick, the kind of sick where your whole body goes cold and hot at the same time. I stared at the screen for hours. Every ping of a notification or car door outside made me jump. I wasn't just doubting my wife. I was realizing that the life I thought I had might have been fake, but I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I started planning. Like I said, I work in IT. I'm patient, and I know how to cover my tracks. First, I screenshotted everything. Bookings, dates, charges, the guest names, everything. Saved it to a secure folder and emailed a backup to an encrypted burner account, just in case. Then I started testing her, asking about past trips had casually, like, hey, wasn't that Hilton in Denver the one with the weird wallpaper? She'd correct me with a totally different hotel name, or she'd say, I don't think I've stayed in Denver, even though I had the receipt from the Marriott there, complete with a couple's massage. I knew I had her. But here's where it gets dark and a little petty. You see, Jenna had always hated my job. She said it made me boring and that she couldn't picture me ever doing something exciting. I brushed it off as teasing at first, but over time, her attitude grew more dismissive. I'd invite her to company parties or team dinners, and she'd always decline. I don't want to hang out with a bunch of IT nerds talking about servers and routers. Cool, Jenna. Real cool. So I decided to give her a reason to visit. A few weeks later, I pretended everything was normal. I even booked our vacation using her rewards points. 2 weeks in Belize, oceanfront suite. She was thrilled. She started buying new swimsuits and posted cryptic captions like, sun-kissed and stress-free soon, on her Instagram. Barf. I waited until the Friday before our trip. She was scheduled to fly in from a conference that night. I told her to swing by my office so we could drive to the airport together. She grumbled about parking, but eventually agreed. Here's what she didn't know. I had set the trap. Using my admin access, I temporarily changed the security settings for our office building. I let our receptionist, who's also my friend, know to play along. When Jenna arrived, I told her to meet me in the server room, said I needed help grabbing something before we left. I watched on the security feed as she walked right past the employees only sign and swiped a borrowed access card. Boom. Building policy states that unauthorized individuals in secure areas, especially server rooms, are considered trespassers. It's mostly a formality, but we take it seriously because of the sensitive client data we handle. And Jenna? She was now officially breaking that policy. I waited a few minutes, then triggered a silent alert I'd set up with our internal security team. The rest happened fast. Security came in. She freaked out, saying she was my wife, that she was just meeting me. I let her squirm for a while before I stepped in. I told them calmly, I don't know why she's here. She wasn't authorized. She screamed at me, right there in front of half my office, as they escorted her out. She called me a psycho, a liar, a manipulative freak, and I just smiled. Now, before you think I'm a monster, let me clarify. She wasn't really arrested, but she was detained for several hours and a police report was filed for trespassing. Our company has to do that to cover our liability. It's policy. But the real kicker, that police report went to her employer. Apparently, her pharmaceutical company has a zero-tolerance policy for legal infractions involving dishonesty or breach of trust. She was fired within a week. And me, I took the Belize trip solo, spent the whole 2 weeks drinking coconut cocktails and swimming with stingrays while she was home, jobless and blowing up my phone with messages that went from rage to tears to begging. I haven't spoken to her since. I filed for divorce 2 days after the incident. My lawyer says the documentation I have is more than enough to protect my assets and prove infidelity. Turns out hotel points can be admissible evidence. So, yeah, Jenna, maybe my job was boring, but at least I wasn't out here screwing my life up one hotel room at a time. Thanks for the points, though. If you're still here, you're a legend. Thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed the content, smash that like button, drop a comment, and hit subscribe if you haven't already. And hey, I want to know what you think. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. More on the way. See you in the next one.